Well, hello there. My name is HW, and thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. Please don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe. It really helps the YouTube and the Facebook algorithm. Hey dudes, today, let's jump right into it. We are talking about the green screen effect, and these are three ways that I like to use the green screen effect and the way I think about it. Now, one of my all-time favorite overdrives is this one right here. It's the Sparkle drive from Voodoo Labs. And one of my favorite things about this drive is that you get a mix knob. Now, for those of you who may be familiar with the Tube Screamer style circuit, you know that part of that circuit involves about a 30% mix parameter inside the pedal that's hard set to about 70% effect and 30% clean sound. It's part of the Tube Screamer sound to have clean sound included in the signal. That's one of the reasons why it pairs so well with sort of brighter guitars and things. That and its signature mid-range characteristic really fit brighter amps, kind of scoop sounds like a glove. Now today, I'm not using the most scooped sound. I'm actually using the 1964 AC-10 Twin B2 profile. Now I've added a hashtag mark there because I just turned up some of the delay and stuff, and I've changed the settings on this green screen effect. So it's not quite how you get it out of the pack, but this is available as I have it right there at the intro as a free download that you can find in a link in the description. Let's talk about the three ways to use the Tube Screamer. It's been famously used by a lot of people in a lot of different ways, but today I've got a Telly and an AC30 style kind of thing. It's an AC10, but it's British chimey, Telly kind of thing. So let's talk about how we can use the green screen. Let's look at the Kemper real quick. And what I've got going on here is what I would consider to be a boost. This is an aggressive mid-rangey boost. So let me show you the settings that I've got here. I'm actually running the drive completely at 0. You can see that right here, no drive. That's a very classic way to use a Tube Screamer. Turn off the drive, but we still want to take advantage of that classic Tube Screamer EQ curve that gives us lots of mids, a lobbed off bass, and hopefully if we're using the mix parameter correctly, we're gonna get our highs still intact out of the guitar. Next, we have our tone. Now, I'm running this at 10, and I'm gonna show you why. We have control of the tone. I don't mind it for this sound at 10, but it certainly doesn't need to be at 10 all the time. Mix, I've got at about 69, so that's right about the stock Tube Screamer, 70% dirty, 30% clean sound. So this is pretty much a sound that's right there that you could get with a Tube Screamer, and I think it's pretty authentic. And here I've got the volume just for a 1.5 decibel boost. That really makes the amp hotter, and it really brings up a little bit of the crunch out of the amp as well. Here's just the profile by itself with no green screen effect added. Check this out, and I'll show you on the bridge and the middle position. That's the bridge in the middle position. Now when I turn that on, very steely, it's very Telly-esque. Check it out in the middle position. It really is a boost because it feels like the amp is just giving up more goods. Check it out on the bridge again. it's that punchy, pushed tube screamer boosty sound. We're not asking the tube screamer for any gain. We're just taking its EQ curve, slamming it into the front of the amp, and asking the amp to do the heavy lifting, to do the breaking up, but with that very scrumptious, sort of thick and full tube screamer mid-range. This is a very cool sound. Now, the thing we have here when we use the tube screamer first as a boost is control over our tone. So check this out. That's probably right where I like it right there. Just a little bit below 10. Just a tiny bit pulled back. It's at 9.2. And that's a beautiful sound. Even on the middle, it's fat. It's just a really fun sound to play, and I think it's a really great boost. Let's talk now about, I mean, there's other great boosts in the Kemper, but this one to me is kind of my favorite because I love that mid-rangey thing, and I just think it's a beautiful EQ curve. You could get a similar thing probably with a graphic EQ, but why work harder for the same thing? Now, let's talk about changing this into something else. Let's talk about using it like a traditional overdrive. This sound that we have is going to work for this, but traditionally you would want to, tube screamers will make really great overdrives in more scooped amps because they need a little bit of lows and a little bit of highs to kind of maintain a transparent quality. So check it out. Here's my sound with no tube screamer on. Very cool. Now, let's get into this and let's look at what we can do here. I'm going to turn that tube screamer on, and now I'm going to roll up my drive to about 2.5. I'm going to bring my tone back because I'm going to hopefully get some more high end, and I'm going to actually bring back my volume boost as well to, well, leave it at 0.8 because what's going to happen, well, just listen. Here's now the sound with the tube screamer. Bring up the volume just a little bit. And want to bring that tone up to 8 or 9. that to me is a fat sound. It's a big sound. If I were on a Fender amp, that would fit even more like a glove. But it is a sound. I mean, you can sort of rock with it, and it's nice and warm, and it makes this telly into just something a little fatter, and it does take away a little bit of the steely quality, but nah, there's plenty of it there. I mean, it's still, you couldn't mistake that guitar for anything else. So to get a little more of a transparent boost, I'm actually gonna engage my tube screamer, my green scream, excuse me, and I'm going to put in the drive setting. Let's put that at about, let's put it at 2.5. It's about 2.5, yep. I'm gonna put the tone, I'm gonna put it pretty high, and again, we're gonna have control over that tone. But I'm mixing the tone with more of the amp's just straight signal. So I don't mind if it's too bright coming out of the tube screamer because there's not going to be a ton of it. Mix is going to be below 50%. And for a boost, I'm now going to boost up a little more, 1.8, 1.9. Why not? 1.8 or 1.9. Now, here is the sound without the tube screamer. You remember this? And with my tube screamer engaged there. It's really just meant to fill it up a little bit. Now watch this. Watch what happens when I bring that up over 50%. Use a tube screamer like this, it's a little more of a transparent overdrive. We are getting drive from the tube screamer. I can even turn that up to about 3. And now listen. If you really think about it, using the tube screamer in this way is like sort of a transparent, overdrivey thing where I want the top end to come out, but I do use some gain, but I bring down the mix. What we're doing is reducing the overall effect of that tube screamer on the finished sound. So we can ride the gain higher, but we're mixing it with a non-gained sound. And so that effectively brings the gain down. Same thing with the tone. You can kind of ride it on 10 and it doesn't really bother me personally as being too bright because we're mixing it again with more of that mixed signal. This is where I feel like you really have two different sounds, and the mixer, as it crosses the mix control, as it crosses the 50% threshold, is really allowing you to almost be like a fader. Do I want more clean or do I want more mean? If that makes sense. So if I turn that up to 60, if I turn that up to 65, we're almost in tube screamer territory. That's nice, that's beautiful, that's chimey. I'm going to turn it down now below to about 45%. I'm going to get, now the majority is going to be the clean amp. That's really a beautiful sound. I personally like to put this on about 65, just past 60 or something. Here it is on about 60. Yeah, that's 65 or so right there. I don't know, man. To me, that is a kick butt telly bridge sound. You might notice how thin the bottom is. It's not that much, you know? I mean, to get more out of it, you'd really have to crank the bass like way up. But it's not, you don't need to do that. What would be really cool is if Kemper ever gave us, man, if Kemper ever gave us a 3-band EQ for every overdrive effect in the Kemper. It's a suggestion I've made to them. I hope it comes in the future, but if they could just give us a quick 3-band EQ so that we could actually have a 3-band EQ right after that drive, I mean, that would just be tremendous, because then you could really even scoop out this tube screamer a little bit, make it even more transparent, and do little of the work that the mix knob is doing for you. But to me, this is my favorite way to use it. It's this in-between boost, in-between overdrive sort of setting, where I'm really letting the clean and the dirty mix together. So in the sense, I'm kind of using it like a boost, because I'm maintaining a lot of the frequencies from the clean and giving it still a lot of definition by only using that mix at about 65%. But I am using gain from the tube screamer. My two favorites for the green scream specifically are using it this way or using it like a straight boost. I typically do not use it as just like a pretty aggressive overdrive, but I do sometimes when I'm on Fender style amps. So the more scoop the amp, the more I like the green scream, just because those EQs really blend together. I hope this has been helpful. You can get this profile. It is free in the spirit of solidarity and everything. Whoops, I just saved it again with my favorite, my kind of favorite settings here. So now it's with my favorite settings because I'm about to go upload this right now. Hey, I've been HW. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate you checking out Tone Junkie TV. Thanks so much, guys. Tons of free stuff on the channel. Check out the website. It's down below. All sorts of profiles, tips, and tricks. I have been HW. HW out.